Hello and welcome to our podcast. I'm Risa.
I am shocked because that came out of nowhere. And I'm Ariana.
And we're the Krolmeister sisters. Welcome to our podcast. As a reminder, the show is rated T for teen for strong language and mature themes.
Yeah, super mature. Like really mature.
Like
actually,
taxes.
I don't know what this one's about. Yeah, like taxes mature.
Yeah.
If you don't want taxes in your Nancy group, then head on over to her very own podcast, Unlocked.
There you go.
I lost what I was saying halfway through, and I'm really glad that my instinct kicked back in.
That's fine. Okay, so what are we talking about now, sister?
Now we are talking about tops and bottoms.
Don't say it like that.
I already warned people to go away. What do you want from me?
Today we're talking about our top 3 and bottom 3 games of all time.
Top and bottom. Yes, exactly. That's what I said. Jesus. Don't give me that face.
Give me that face all I want. Okay, so we want to start with our tops or our bottoms.
Let's start with the bottoms.
Let's start with the bottoms. Let's do it.
The power bottoms.
Okay.
Okay.
So I like my notes on this one. So our 3 least favorite games. I'm going to do these in order from best to worst. Okay. So Secret of the Old Clock.
Best to worst of the worst.
Yes, best to worst of the worst, obviously. So I'm going to say Secret of the Old Clock, number 3 on our worst 3 games. Agree, sister?
Yeah, no, yeah.
Secret
That's
of the Old Clock.
Right.
Okay, why do we dislike the game?
And it's actually not because it's 1920 or
30.
Whatever. 1930.
See,
I was like, wait,
that
shit.
is a part of
I was
it.
wrong.
Part of it is that it's 1930 and there's no reason for it to be 1930 and it pisses me off. Continue.
I have gotten over that with my multiverse theory. So,
Works.
if you don't know my multiverse theory, I don't remember which episode I described it in.
Was
I think
literally
it may have been the Old Clock.
Yeah.
Was it the Old Clock?
It was
one?
in Secret of the Old Clock. That was your
Okay,
way
cool.
of saying.
Yeah. Go back and listen to that. Crackpot theory, it's one of my golden ones. But no. It's basically everything else about the game.
Yeah, pretty much. The characters are so bland.
What characters? Do you mean the props sitting on the stage?
They're legitimately, 2-dimensional. Because if you look at Emily, she doesn't even look 3D rendered half the time. She's the most flat character. Both personality-wise and rendering-wise.
Just folded over all funky the whole time. Just
that too. But
sorry.
None of them have any personality. The only one with any actual personality is Topham. And he's a terrible person.
Oh, you're going to go with Topham?
Yes.
Because I was going to go with melting in the sun, Joan Cusack.
That's not a personality. That is a caricature.
Still, so is Topham. Topham's just a fucking caricature of a flamboyant man and
a confirmed bachelor.
Yes.
Good there?
Yeah, really, really sweet.
Oh, sweet, not strong. Gotcha.
Well, it's flavored vodka, so it's gonna hit you like that. Yeah. All right. The hiccups have ensued. If I know cartoons, that means you're about to start seeing pink elephants.
Shh. No, we don't talk about pink elephants. Well, okay, so the characters are so bland. They're also just not likable. I find nothing likable about any of those characters.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Jim Archer, what is he? He's nothing. He's a saltine. That's what he is. He's the saltine of characters.
He's a lump of a person.
He's nothing. He doesn't have any sort of personality.
And apparently no brain cells, because he couldn't tell that the old lady was actually what's his
name? This guy, Josiah Crowley, which he's known for like so many years. Like, you really can't. I do not buy that he was that good of an actor.
I think that actually, now that I'm thinking about it, that because one of your points to why we don't like it is, what is the point of all this? Why did he fucking hide his will?
Why did he hide his will?
Because he enjoyed the fact they were fucking morons.
I am the only smart person here. I should take advantage of this and fuck them all over. Like, that's, yeah. As far as I can tell, that's his thought process.
Yeah.
Fuck them. That's what he says.
Fuck them in life, fuck them in death.
Much.
Not in the necrophilia way.
Yeah, please don't. But also, why do we have to have Jane as a bad guy? Like, I understand we need to have a bad guy so we can solve something. Like, that's the same issue that happens in Shattered Medallion, where we have to have some sort of bad guy to make it work. But honestly, the whole game is about finding the will.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like we have to kind of throw in Jane and her stuff, and it feels tacked on.
Yeah. It really could have just been about finding the will. Didn't have to be the...
Like, honestly. It did not have to be about any of that other shit, but...
Whatever, man.
Just whatever. But honestly, it's just
one of the ones I can whatever away.
It's just so irritating because the story doesn't make sense on its own. Like, there's no motive. But then again, as we covered on our last topic, none of them have motive, so it's fine.
No.
None of the games have motive. Who cares?
No. Not solid motives, at least. Just weird, crazy person motives.
Okay. So what is our second least favorite game? I'm done with this game. I don't want to talk about it anymore. Second least favorite game.
Yeah. Trail of the Twister, man.
Yeah. Is that what Trail of the Twister?
What?
Trail of the Twister. I couldn't remember what the first T was for.
Is that why you weren't saying what?
I was like, it's TOT, something of Twister.
Uh-oh. Train of the Twister.
I didn't know.
Tango of the Twister.
Tower of the Twister. I literally have no idea. Trail of the Twister.
Mm-hmm.
That is the least interesting game. Honestly, like, on the list of interesting games, it's at the bottom. Like, how do you make storm chasing boring?
I don't understand how they did that. It takes a lot of talent, man. A lot of talent to go, hey, you're going to be chasing storms and but what you're actually going to be doing is putting some pins on a cork board so that, circles are covering each other.
Yeah, and putting out cheese for mice.
Forgot about that part.
The chores in that game. Like, so many games are chore heavy, Secret of Shadow Ranch. That's a very chore heavy game.
Yeah.
However, at least the chores in that kind of make sense.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit. I mean, I don't like the fact that they're using their guests for, manual labor, but
yeah.
That's beside the point. Just because I disagree with the Rowleys' business plan doesn't mean they make no sense. But the chores in this, it's like, why am I really doing this? Like,
what is my motive?
Honestly, it's just so stupid. I understand we're undercover, right? Right, we're undercover. Krolmeister hired us.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I forgot we were actually working with Krolmeister on that one. Yeah.
I played it once. I just hate that game so much. I refuse to play it again. It's just, and then the characters are so forgettable to me, other than Scott, who's just a fucking dick. He's just a jackass. Like,
I remember Chase.
I remember Frosty.
Because he's kind of a dum-dum, but he's kind of he's like a combination of Wade from Ghost Thornhall and Dave, the cowboy. Because he's kind of got like a bit of a slightly troubled past, if I'm remembering correctly. Not like super troubled, but enough that he, but he's also got that good boy mentality of, well, my mama.
Yeah, but it's just a bad. You guys can have another opinion, but I have not seen a single person who said Trill the Twister was their favorite game. So I'll put that out there. If you are that
person, speak up now. Please. Seriously, I want to know you exist.
Because as far as I can tell, you don't. So, our very least favorite game. I think some of you guys who have been listening to us for a while can guess what this game is going to be.
You can either guess it or maybe you are of the same mindset and I hate it as much as we do. Ransom the 7 goddamn ships.
Ransom of the 7 ships, which is sadly the game we've played the most of. That's the worst part. Why did we do this to ourselves? Okay. The great thing is my notes for this game on here is Ransom of the 7 ships. It's terrible and awful and I hate it. Next point.
It. She goes into all the details of other ones, but Ransom of the 7 ships. It's terrible and awful and I hate it.
We've talked about
it. I hate you.
It's like we've talked about it before. But
we'll talk about it again.
I will tell anyone how much I hate this game. People who have never played any of these games, who don't even know Nancy Drew has a computer game series. I will tell them, never play Ransom of the 7 Ships. It's terrible. The writing is just awful, and there's.
Okay, all right, you got it.
I just got so angry. And we have to sail all the time, and the sailing in the golf cart is terrible.
Yeah.
I hate it so much. I'm so sad. Our Interactive needs to pay me back what has happened to me. I deserve pain and suffering. Pain and suffering.
Suing for pain and suffering.
Yes.
You can keep the money we spent on the game. Just pain and suffering.
$20. I need it back.
$21.54.
$21.54 with California sales tax. Because I deserve that money back.
Yes. That hard-earned paycheck.
Yeah, it was 4 hours of teaching children.
Yeah. 4 whole hours, man.
3 hours, because it was an hour and a half per class, but whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Still, it was an entire paycheck, Her Interactive. You owe me an entire paycheck of 15-year-old Risa.
Yeah. Bastards making us play this goddamn game.
Yeah.
Because it's clearly their fault that we decided to play it over and over again every time we decided to start writing the Sunny June fan fiction again.
It is their fault.
Do we have a link to that on
our Ransom of the
Tumblr?
7? Yes, on our Ransom of the 7 Ships podcast. I did. And I did hashtag not all monkeys.
That's right.
I don't know why we said that, but I remember specifically putting in hashtag not all monkeys.
I believe I said it at some point in the podcast about how it was not all monkeys were
throwing rocks at us.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, bullshit. Sorry.
Oh, the monkeys throwing rocks. I thought you were calling bullshit on me saying that not all monkeys throw rocks at us. I was like, no, I will step up for the monkeys. I am here for the monkeys. The monkeys are my cause. Yeah. So, anything else on Ransom 7 Ships other than the fact that we hate it and it's stupid and there's only
awful.
One goddamn person on the fucking island?
Because who else is it going to be? Is it going to be George? Did George kidnap her own cousin?
Why couldn't they have more people? Like,
The entire
also,
premise of the
that
game.
fucking bullshit ending where we lose Dwayne. Like, fuck that.
They were like, oh, maybe he'll come back. But then we've had like 5 million writers since then, so he'll never come back.
He'll never come back. Nobody remembers him.
Not
We
that
do not have anybody who has any idea what the games used to be. Fucking posers.
I'm sorry. I'm good. Okay, let's think of good things now. Let's go to our top 3 games instead.
Yeah.
We'll start from
Sounds
3.
Good. Okay.
You get to pick which one is 3.
What
do you pick?
Danger on Deception Island.
Danger on Deception Island is our third favorite game. So Danger on Deception Island, okay, it's amazing. We've talked about it before. We did an entire podcast on it. However, I still need to talk about it even more.
Yes.
The atmosphere is fantastic.
Oh, so good.
It's so gorgeous, and the music is amazing, and just all of the places we go, and we get to go kayaking, and we get to go geocaching.
I get to go into an abandoned old, yeah, I see that. Getting emotional. Getting whiskey emotional.
I'm getting whiskey emotional, guys.
No, but yeah, we get to go into an abandoned lighthouse. We get to go into tunnels used to Shanghai people. It is great. I even enjoy going clam hunting.
It's true. Yeah, I do. You know what? It's satisfying. Because when you stick it into the dirt and the sand and you pull it back out and there's something there, you're like,
that's so satisfying. Love it. That and building sandcastles, which we will spend like 40 minutes building sandcastles, even though it does absolutely nothing for the rest of the game.
It's true. We will.
Because it's great.
It's fun because we're beach people. So the amount of time we've spent building sandcastles is pretty long. In gusting winds, too. During El Nino. That day when I literally got flattened to the ground by the winds. And then we made a sandcastle.
Yes.
So why not?
Because we hid behind rocks to do it, though, didn't we?
It was the wall at the beach at Mission Bay. No, not Mission Bay. Mission Beach. That's what.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Beach. We went behind the wall and we just piled it up. That wasn't so much a sandcastle; it was a sand mound. But you know what? We didn't care because we were like 5 and 7. Yes. But we really like sandcastles, and that's part of why we like Danger on Deception Island so much. Is because it's like a bit of home for us. Yeah. It's that like gray coastal weather.
Yeah.
It's just
had that weather yesterday. It was great.
Yeah.
It was all windy and chilly and I just wanted to, I went out and stood by the water and it was all crisp and made my cheeks hurt. Oh, I'm sorry.
I don't live by the beach anymore, which is why I'm angry. Just for people who maybe are watching who have never heard anything from us before, which is unlikely, but I no longer live by the ocean, so I'm sad.
There.
I'm 2 drinks deep, guys.
I'm good. Baby, I finished my drink. May need to text him again.
Okay.
He says he'll actually answer it this time.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
So we talked about Danger on Deception Island. We think it's a great game.
Yes. It's great.
So what is our second favorite game, sister? You get to pick, because I picked the order of the least favorite game, so you pick the favorite games.
Shadow at the Water's Edge.
Okay, Shadow at Water's Edge.
Our favorite game taking place in Japan.
I love this game for so many reasons. It has great puzzles. It has great characterization. Like, the characters are super fleshed out. It also has a great atmosphere, great music, and I get to play pachinko.
Right? Play pachinko, get to wonder why Nancy is allowed to teach children.
Yeah, I mean, okay.
Anyway.
Let's stop it. The teaching English as a foreign language certificate takes at least 2 years. Trust me, I know I almost got it. So, how did Nancy get it? Fuck knows. However, I don't think she is suited to teaching.
I don't.
But let's move on.
But oh man, the Yumi's clothing. I'm sorry. I'm going there. I love it so much. So adorable. I made my Gaia Online avatar dresses her occasionally. Remember Gaia Online? You remember that? Yeah, good stuff.
But yes, Shadow at Water's Edge.
Yes.
So Shadow at Water's Edge, I just love the story. Like, the plot itself is just really good in that game.
Yeah, it's a really actually genuinely compelling backstory. You know, very sad and very family heavy, and I like that a lot. It's a great dynamic between all the characters, because the problem is that there's, you know, I don't know how to say it now. I'm apparently getting very into this one, but it's great. It's great dynamics. It's great design. It's great. The whole thing is just really wonderful and fleshed out, and I love it.
Honestly, and the music is gorgeous. I know I've already said that, but the music is just so lovely.
Yeah,
and my favorite games. My favorite games are all the ones with really good soundtracks.
It's true. Because actually, when I was going between some of the top games, because we were having trouble deciding between Danger on Deception Island and Shadow Ranch for art, and I love the music in both of those, and so that's like so all of them. It's like, if it's got good music, then I'm like, yeah, this is good, it's fun. No, yeah,
but second. Spooky. We would love to start bringing guests on the podcast, but we have to think about logistics. So we would love to bring guests onto the podcast.
Guests of what kind? I can't see the question, so I don't.
The chat.
No, I can't make the chat happen. Remember?
So Spooky asked, "Do you bring guests on the podcast?" We have not yet. However, we are considering it.
Yes.
I want to be enigmatic here.
We are considering various kinds of guests, and because my boyfriend actually helped come up with ideas last night.
So did mine today, but in a different way.
Oh, today he's being helpful.
Well, yesterday he was stressing about his presentation today.
Psh, whatever, man.
But yes, we were talking about maybe soundtracks. Soundtracks, maybe.
Soundtracks, yes. We were talking about how love a good soundtrack game. No, but yeah, Shadow at Water's Edge, because there's the great tranquil music, the like traditional sounding music at the Ryokan, and then you go into the subway and there's that great music, and then you go to the pachinko parlor and that loud J-pop-esque music going on, and I love it so much.
I love it so much. I love the pachinko parlor. It's one of my favorite parts of the game. I'm not gonna lie, but I just like pachinko.
Yeah, it's really enjoyable. There's a reason that I play this game over and over again, because I love every element of it.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, but I'm trying to think of something else to talk about for it. What else did I put down on the thing?
You put creepy as fuck, A+ atmosphere.
Honestly,
It is
yes.
creepy as fuck.
Creepy as fuck. It is
actually the part where the mirror breaks and all that. Legitimately, the creepy parts that Venturo puts up are genuinely creepy. They still make me go, okay.
Yeah. Like, honestly, that game, if you play it when it's, like, dark, specifically, it's super creepy.
Yeah.
Like, even when we're not doing our drinking game, it's creepy.
Yeah.
I
it's not just drunk creepy. It's just creepy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, even when I made my boyfriend play it, he thought it was creepy. A little bit. But he wouldn't really admit it very much.
No.
Yes. So what is our favorite game, sister? Our top
number
game
1
of all time.
Favorite top. Never mind. I'm gonna stop. Our number 1 top game is the haunting and depressing Ghost of Thornton Hall.
Exactly. Ghost of Thornton Hall.
For the reasons, because it's haunting and depressing.
So, Ghost of Thornton Hall is so good on so many levels. I don't know, for me at least. Because it has fleshed out characters. It has a plot that actually kind of makes sense for the Nancy Drew games. You're here for our last topic. We talked about the plots. This plot actually makes sense to an extent. There's an actual motive, which is so rare. But, oh God, it's so good. And it talks about, what I really like about this game is it talks about social things. It talks about the families in the South who took advantage of people who were of a lower class than themselves, and the kind of things that happened when that happened. Like, we're talking about the factories, the factory workers who died and stuff like that. Yeah. It actually talks about those topics. Sorry, my tongue is not working.
Your tongue, yeah.
So it talks about the topics that people don't really want to talk about the South and what happened after, industrialization happened. So it happened in the South after slavery went out, which is they just started taking advantage of people who were of a lower social class, which, also included African Americans. But and that's so good for me for a children's game that they're bringing that kind of stuff out.
Well, yeah, and then also the stigmatism around mental illness.
Exactly, with
Harper, and that is like especially like in bigger families in the South. I know we've discussed this at some point, but like, yeah, that's you got the loony that you lock away. You don't talk about them at family gatherings, and
yeah, like Junior.
Oh shit. No, we're genuinely not talking about that for other reasons, though.
I know. But the fact that we do have half of our family is from the South, so that's another reason why we are so... we like this game so much, is because we can then actually relate to it in a way.
Yeah.
Obviously, our family was not the Thorntons. They were the people, the workers in the factory. But
yeah, actually.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
So it's just one of those things, and that's why we can relate to it so well.
But at the same time, they were the family that everybody knew because there were so many of them, because Grandmama spit out kids like sunflower seeds. But yeah, so basically, so everybody knows, and so if something happened, then everybody knew about it. So, Aunt Becky gets pregnant at 16, and suddenly it's a huge issue for the entire town. And so yeah, no, but having the the things that you don't talk about, the things that you just tuck away because it's a southern town and you are a well-known family and you don't want people talking about it. You don't want it being published in the Paris Herald or whatever it is. I think it's the Herald.
It's the Intelligencer?
That's right. It's the Intelligencer. I love Paris so much.
I'm sorry.
I love it so much. They're online too. The Paris Intelligencer.
Don't call them that. They don't know who we are.
These people or the Paris Intelligencer people?
Sorry. But
I'm so done. No, but yes, okay. So it's great the way they deal with those stigmatisms, the way they deal with the family secrets that people like to just tuck away, and how, you know, in the previous few decades, like, people have been more like, hey, let's actually face this dark thing that our family did. So it's super heavy, but that makes for a very compelling actual story for the game.
Yeah. I mean, like, to be fair, is it a game where I would want children to play it? Like, young children? No.
I feel like a lot of it would honestly just kind of barely get soaked in. So, like, a lot of it would be just like, thank you, baby. A lot of it would be just sort of going, oh, okay, I know how many people died in the fire, and so I know the answer to this clue. But you know, some of the actual social parts of it can get soaked in a little bit.
I think that's good. And I honestly really like that they did that for games that are aimed at children, to make them think about the kind of things. Like, even if they're not thinking about it, like, right away, you know?
Mm-hmm.
When they're older and they might replay the game, they'll go, wow, that really says something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, yeah. And then, again, you know, great atmosphere for the whole game.
Oh, God, I love it so much. It's foggy.
It's another one.
And we're in the bayou, basically. And
but you can totally tell that it's balmy foggy.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's
like, you can totally
tell. But whatever. You know what I mean? It's so swampy is what I'm trying to say. It's swampy and it's foggy, and there's a graveyard I could go in.
Yeah. Krolmeister sisters love graveyards.
We really do. It's creepy, but we like it.
Great music.
It really does.
I love the random use of jump scares in this game.
See, the thing is they're not quite
their games.
They're not quite jump scares. Like, Shadow at Water's Edge has jump scares, like the mirror. But
right, that's
these are like scares you can almost miss. Is what I like about them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Most of the scares in Ghost of Thornton Hall is something you could miss.
Yeah.
It's something that just happens out of the corner of your eye, and that's what's so scary about it to me, is that it is just seeing things.
Armadillo.
In the corner of your eye.
The armadillo.
What?
The armadillo that just runs out of the room is one of the jump scares.
Oh.
That was me being scared.
I thought you were just being random.
No, there's an armadillo in your apartment, by the way.
I'm just like...
Are you genuinely looking around for an armadillo now?
I was actually looking for the cat.
Oh.
Oh,
but yeah. So it's it's creepy. It's I know. It's depressing. It's oh, we didn't even get to talking about the characters yet.
The characters have they're really compelling to me, because it's like
there are no characters that are well, I guess Jessalyn is almost the bland character, and even then, she's not actually.
Because she's going through some serious character development during the game. Like, we're almost Jessalyn in this game, in the way that we're learning about these things about the other family members and having to process them, because that's what's going on with Jessalyn. She's learning all of these things about her family and having to start processing them and having to decide where she's going to fit into the family and what she's going to do with this new information. And I love it so much.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. The things that they even just insinuate, and then don't touch. Like, I'm sorry if you guys haven't heard our belief of this. The belief is, Clara was not pushed. She was trying to commit suicide.
Yeah.
Because of the guilt and everything surrounding Charlotte's death. And so she tried to commit suicide, and when it failed, she decided to blame the already off-kilter
Harper.
Harper. Yeah, I just kept trying to call her Thornton. It was driving me crazy. The already off-kilter Harper, who had lost everything, and just basically being a kid herself, Clara was like, yeah, it's the
Or
weird
Harper.
one.
Yeah.
No.
No, I know what you meant after a second.
It's the weird one. Let's just, and then, okay, let's send her away. We can't have this. This is a blight on the Thornton family name. And ow.
Yeah.
My heart.
I know.
Ouch. Because as much as I dislike Clara, but at the same time, it's like, she was a fucking product of this long line of horrible.
Yeah. Honestly. Of course it's our favorite game because it's the weirdest. It's like the most emotionally, like, involved game, I feel. Like,
I felt for her like a banker on Black Tuesday.
I know. It's like, and how many children are understanding that reference?
Exactly. That's part of it. It can go right over their heads.
Exactly.
Or they can use the internet and look up what Black Tuesday means.
Those were our bottom 3 and top 3 games of all time. If you guys,
our tops and bottoms.
If you guys disagree with us and you have things that you think we should think of
keep it to yourself.
Yeah, because these are our opinions. It's not fact, it's opinions. So, if you guys,
tell us
please,
we're wrong.
I mean, still tell us because we want to know what your guys' tops and bottoms are.
Yeah. Let us know, but don't tell us we're wrong.
Yeah.
I don't appreciate that.
And tell us why, because I want to know why something is your favorite that I should think is your favorite, because then maybe I'll have a newfound like of that thing. Like, if you tell me Secret of the Old Clock is your favorite because of a certain few reasons, I might look at it in a different light. Who knows?
I probably won't. I'm pretty stuck in my ways. I'm pretty set.
So just let us know on our Tumblr, Twitter, or YouTube, or SoundCloud even. And, maybe we'll
let us know
see the ways.
Wherever see the ways.
You know what I mean? Be nice to me.
I don't know what you mean, and I am intrigued.
See the light is what I meant.
We're trying to say see the error of our ways at first. Is that what it was? Yeah, kinda.
Wild turkey is strong.
The wild turkey is strong with this one. So
I'm Risa.
What you are is drunk.
I'm Risa and I'm drunk.
Drunk Risa. And I am drunk Ariana.
And we're the Krolmeister sisters. And we are asking you guys to stay sleuthy.